Make sure that you bounce on those objects real quick.
all parents. Welcome all parents, family members, faculty, staff, guests, and graduates of Pueblo Magnet High School's class of 2011 commencement ceremony. This evening, singing our national anthem, we have Robert Moore.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please join me in an applause and welcome our honored guest speaker, Ms. Adelita Grijalva.
Thank you so much. Please be seated.
Thank you.
I'm a congratulations to all of you, class of 2011. It is my honor and privilege to be here. I am also a proud warrior, class of 1989. To all of the family, friends, relatives that are here to support these graduates, congratulations to you as well, because this is also a victory and celebration for you. You know, I am the proud product of an immigrant family. My tata was a bracero. My nana, a stay-at-home mom, very proud of where she came from, very proud to be in the United States. And they knew the one thing that would push their children forward and help them to have a better life than the one they had was education. And so my nana and tata pushed their children, shoved them if they had to ensure that they graduated from high school, they went on to college, and a result of their efforts is a therapist, a nurse, and a member of Congress as their children. I tell you this because education is the great equalizer. You all are here in this step, the step of obtaining your high school diploma. And that's a great step, and it's one that other people that started this class with you, just like people that started my freshman class with me, didn't obtain this. So you should be very proud of the work that you've done to get you here, but also to think about what the next steps are. Some of you are moving on to college and university. Some of you are moving on to the military. Some of you are moving on to jobs and families. I just want you to think about the legacy that you leave, because this community needs you to be successful. We need you to be the next leaders for us. And so I am very proud to be here to be able to celebrate with all of you tonight. I want to thank you all so much for giving me the opportunity to say congratulations. And on behalf of myself and the other members of the governing board for Tucson Unified, I want to say adelante, felicidades, buena suerte, and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Adelita Grijalva. My fellow graduates, as warriors, we represent pride, intelligence, character, strength, passion, and most importantly, the ability to succeed. Each one of us carries these characteristics within us, and they have made us who we are, and they will guide us through the future. Take these past 4 years with you. Whether it is an embarrassing moment, a class that wasn't missed because of a great teacher, a test either failed or aced, extracurricular activities, lunchtime, texting in class, spirit assemblies, friendship or relationships gained or lost, and all the people who have made these 4 years memorable. These memories don't just make today special, but they create within ourselves memories and experiences that will last a lifetime. We have taken one big step, which means we are now ready for the next. So tonight, as we walk across this stage, be proud of where you started, who you are, and what you will become. Not only are we the graduating class of 2011, we are warriors. And as warriors, we will put forth our abilities to overcome obstacles and be recognized and acknowledged for our achievements in the future. On behalf of your senior class president, congratulations and good luck. We did it. I would now like to introduce our first student speaker, Alejandra Curiel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and to my fellow classmates. Hey! It seems not far ago that we were nervous at the idea of initiating our journey through high school. Those will be the best years of your life was one of the many statements others who went before us never forgot to mention. Amazed at the concept of high school, many of us pictured encountering scenarios such as those we had witnessed in movies. Some of us believed we would embark with the traditional freshman attacks. Meanwhile, others wondered if this opportunity to start on fresh ground would grant us the chance to finally fit in with those whom we believed were well-known people. The thought of such possible confrontations drove many of us to a sleepless night our freshman year. Hardly did we know that in order to get to where we were and to get to where we are seated today, we had to pay little attention to the ideas of being popular, our fearful intimidations, or whether others would think fond of us. We realized that towards the end of senior year, not many of us were noticed for what we were believed to be. Instead, we are now remembered for what we accomplished, for the ways we contributed to our school, and even the risks we learned to take. I heard a lot about you guys. Your incredible potential, along with your lack of time management skills, were some of the words teachers mentioned at the beginning of their school year. Toward our sophomore year, having already had a taste of what our studies consisted of, we felt the need to participate in activities not only for the sake of ourselves, but for the sake of our school's reputation. Some of us decided our role would be to focus on making our sports a little better. Others decided that our purpose would be to maintain a cleaner environment. While others procured becoming involved in many competitive educational activities to prove to outsiders that our high school choice was never intended for picking the school with the best reputation. Instead, we intended to pick the high school that would allow us to make of what we held within us our own experience. Sitting here today, we have come to a point often viewed as a bridge to what is considered the last stage to our childhood portion of life. We are faced with several different choices and emotions. While some of us may never see each other again, others will always remember the unique individuals that were introduced on behalf of Pueblo's halls. From childish dreams of becoming cartoon characters, artists, and astronauts, to taking the initiative of finally proposing a path for our futures. Some of us will hopefully one day travel the world, or perhaps we shall be the class who procures and produces the cure for some now considered incurable disease. Meanwhile, others will conclude that education is not the path for them, and instead decide that joining the workforce is a better choice. However, no matter what we do, we will always carry those memories that were established by the years we lived as warriors. never forgetting that we became the class that beat the seniors at the spirit stick. Neither will we forget the countless hours we spent after school, freshman and sophomore years, in the patio, simply because we were not old enough to drive. From drama, to happiness, to being that one person who seems to be invisible, to becoming outgoing, to forgetting all those that have cost us pain, and finding those we love. No matter what the case may be, we can all conclude to have been touched in some way by Pueblo High School. The case of the matter then becomes understanding our situation in life and putting all those pieces together that we collected as warriors. For I hate to break it to you guys, but once a warrior, always a warrior. Although many of us believe it to be an endpoint in our lives, we must see this as an ongoing pathway to the rest of our future. It is our turn to demonstrate that all the talk about being the chosen ones wasn't just for our satisfaction. With this diploma, it is our turn to walk away and demonstrate that regardless of what we do with our lives, it will always be for the sake of the qualities that are important for each and every one of us. For what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. It is our duty then to expand our wings and broaden our expectations from the comfort we were privileged enough to have, and find our purpose in life. For life isn't always about where you are going, but about what you will do when you get there. Like Coach Chadwick always mentioned before each game, it isn't over until the clock strikes 0. It is then time to thank all those who have made our journey at Pueblo a unique one. Thank you, teachers, for never giving up on our often procrastinating manners. Thank you, staff, for giving us the task of rerouting our ways to class. For making it a priority to get to class on time, with your all-too-kind lunch detentions. To our parents, who never grew tired of our constant complaints with the work we were assigned. To our friends, family members, coaches, and all those people who in one way or another had an impact in our lives and getting us here. And of course, a special shout out to Adalberto Rodriguez and the lunch group of this year. High school would have never been the same without you. Finally, un saludo muy importante a mis papás, Vilma y David Curiel, y a mi hermana. Mis logros no tuvieran valor sin ustedes. Delighted by the idea of fulfilling the best years of our existence, the majority of us can say that looking back at our experience at Pueblo, it was nowhere close to being as perfect as we had imagined. When looking at Pueblo High School, not many of us can say that something we have witnessed during our journey was completely congruent to the rest. Instead, we have witnessed a combination of similarities and differences that have created what has established our school as an individual. So maybe our experiences wasn't accurately perfect, but that's the most amazing part. At Pueblo, we had the opportunity to be a group of spunky, unique, and sometimes mood-crazy individuals that work devotedly to identify what is unanimously found inside each of us. And that is what we will always carry as the warrior within. Congratulations, class of 2011.
Our next student speaker will be Dulce Corte.
Good evening, friends and family, teachers and staff, and good evening, fellow classmates. Quick question. How many of us here have ever been to the fair or to something similar like Six Flags? Show of hands. Who? Thrill ride, okay. So most of us can picture what a thrill ride can be or what it looks like. Well, high school could give us the adrenaline rush as if taking off into the air many feet away from the ground. The twists and turns of what our courses deliver can give us a twitchy feeling of excitement. Just like our freshman year, when we see our high school career take flight, that is for the most part, of course. The thrill of having this new experience is at its best. A new environment, a feeling of intensity over the fact that you're now at a whole new stage of your life. Sophomore year, we smoothly stride along through all the little ups and downs, all the dips, all the little sharp turns. In our stomachs, we feel the little tug and squeeze over the fun of returning to meet other acquaintances other than our usual friends. energized to continue in ending the starvation of our brain, which seems eagerly hungry for knowledge. Strapped in tight as we continue to ride along and handle the daily obstacles the academic life unfortunately brings. The dips which have by now become accustomed, yet not letting that stop us from feeling the anxiety we await to mount off this thrill ride. Suddenly, we wander through a dark tunnel, and although our hands are positively in the air, we cannot tell exactly what lies ahead of us, not knowing if a big drop awaits us, or if a sharp turn is up ahead, or if the speed of our journey is to excel. I have to admit, it's a bit frightening. But one thing on our mind is, hey, whatever the fear may be, it's just fear. Fear that is no match for the tough warrior inside us. Fear can be the foundation to strength, to continue and to endure. This fear prepares us for our senior year. As we wait to launch into the air, we see everything we have accomplished. We realize how strong we really are, knowing that it would have been much easier to quit and give up because sleeping in every day never hurt anyone. Some of the dormant students may have become overwhelmed with anxiety. At this point, the ride is steady and slow, sluggish. By now, the wheels of the ride are spinning with boredom. No more thrill, not as much excitement. No more passion burning to finish the ride. Yet you can't run away, no, because sooner or later, the job will have to get done. We learn to be patient, and we learn to manage our patience. Finally, the wheels ease up and the weight of it all doesn't seem so heavy. We now reach the peak of what we so desperately have longed for. We ride to the top, inclined as we approach, closely. Then, there's a pause. The view is like no other, like if we were soaring in the sky, way above the little people we can hardly recognize from below. We reflect upon the memories we lived, look at the hardships we will leave behind, leave all the wonderful essays and works of analysis our teachers sure love to read. We take the time to compare the little person we were, entering into this big facility full of so many new faces and different smells. We laugh at all the insignificant things that didn't matter in life, which at that time we would have killed over. We smile with gratification because we're on the road to something greater. We keep the cherished friendships within that special space in our hearts, and keep an open space for the friendships we yet have to encounter. We leave our hugs and handshakes of gratitude to the many people who helped and cared for us along the ride in case of any technical difficulty. One thing we keep without a doubt is our smile. A smile that will create dimples whether you have some or not. A smile full of cheer and joy because we made it to the very top. A smile because we have no need to frown upon our efforts and accomplishments. A smile as we look at the world below us because we know, after high school, no other goal is impossible. One way or another, we can achieve what we set our minds to, and tonight, that's been proven firsthand. Before we descend into the drop that is on the other side of that peak, every single organ in our body tenses up. Our grip becomes tight and firm, for we fear to release and ascend our hands in the air. But why should we? All the twists and turns, all the dips, the drops, racing to the very top and dropping to the very bottom, that's nothing now, because we endured and held on tight. In other words, what lies behind us and what lies ahead of us are tiny matters compared to what lives within us, for nothing is beyond our reach. But one thing is for sure, the ride does not stop here. We have yet more thrills up ahead. Let's keep it going. Congratulations, class of 2011. We made it.
Next we have Lisette Peralta. Buenas noches, padres de familia, abuelitas y abuelitos y familiares. Buenas noches, directores, administradores y maestros. Buenas noches, clase 2011. Antes de empezar, quiero disculparme porque estoy un poco afónica, pero ahí les va. Cuando llegamos a Pueblo High School, llegamos con sueños y con miedos. Llegamos sobre todo con pocos años y con poca experiencia. Entonces, fueron varios los momentos de oscuridad, varios momentos sin luz,
donde la guía que teníamos eran las paredes, los alrededores y el instinto. El corazón con sus latidos nos guió siempre a la mejor decisión, al paso correcto y firme. Sin embargo, fueron también varias las veces donde fuimos guiados por las huellas de todos aquellos que pasaron por este camino, donde sus huellas fueron la inspiración para continuar y empezar a dejar una nueva huella de nuestro andar. Hoy comenzamos a ver la luz. Se acerca el amanecer y ya por fin veremos con claridad la luz que por tanto tiempo se nos hizo muy lejana. Hacia el frente tenemos el horizonte, el futuro, el porvenir. Hoy es el momento de dejar nuestras estelas y enfrentarnos hacia ese mar de la vida, al mundo, y empezar a navegar. Sin miedo, clase 2011, sin miedo. Nos toca a nosotros porque somos los elegidos, the chosen ones. Es nuestro momento, el momento de poner a prueba las enseñanzas y la fortaleza, la sabiduría y la perseverancia. Porque aunque aquí despedimos la oscuridad de la inocencia y de los pocos años y damos la bienvenida a la luz, a la claridad, a un nuevo paso en nuestras vidas, de aquí cada quien ha de tomar su rumbo. Cada quien decidirá hacia dónde llevar su barca, hacia dónde los dirija su brújula, hacia dónde los llevará el destino. Pero sin miedo, porque aquí no termina, aquí solo empieza. Y la marea será fuerte, eso nunca nos los han negado. Pero la oscuridad fue a ciegas y ya la hemos pasado. Ahora viene un nuevo reto y cada quien a luchar. Cada quien había de luchar como un guerrero, como el guerrero que llevamos dentro, como el guerrero que hemos creado durante 4 años. Ralph Waldo Emerson dijo, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." Lo cual quiere decir, lo que se encuentra detrás de nosotros y lo que se encuentra ante nosotros no es nada comparado con lo que se encuentra dentro de nosotros. Por eso, guerreros somos, porque nuestro pasado y sus luchas nos formaron, porque lo que ha de venir, lo que nos espera, habremos de estar preparados. Y lo vivido y el guerrero y la fuerza y la fortaleza que llevamos dentro, nadie nos las quita. Eso que llevamos por dentro es lo que nos dice quiénes somos. Es esa luz interna que nos guió siempre y que siempre nos guiará. Aún recuerdo cuando recién entramos a Pueblo High School en el 9, éramos tan pequeños. Bueno, todavía estoy chaparra, pero tan inocentes en nuestra percepción de la vida. Pero con el tiempo fuimos madurando. Algunos seguimos juntos, otros se fueron para no volver, y otros en algún futuro sus caminos y los nuestros se han de volver a cruzar. Este día, el momento más esperado desde el principio, cuando apenas éramos unos pequeños pajarillos y nos crecían las plumas, hubo caídas y vuelos equivocados de los cuales aprendimos. Y es nuestro turno expandir nuestras alas y echarnos a volar. Papás, no se preocupen, que el nido de donde venimos nunca se nos ha de olvidar. Las plumas que nos crecieron, de ustedes las hemos heredado. Y la fuerza y las ganas de vivir, a su lado las hemos encontrado. Ustedes, padres, nos han puesto el ejemplo. Y hoy en parte por ustedes estamos aquí. Gracias. Gracias por darnos la vida y por enseñarnos el camino. Pero hoy es nuestro tiempo de volar. Se ha llegado el momento, tantas veces practicado, hoy es el día. Hoy comenzamos a volar, llevando con nosotros nuestro agradecimiento y amor, llevando con nosotros a nosotros mismos. Muchas gracias.
The senior class presents you with their gift. Class of 2011 will be sponsoring a mural in the cafeteria titled Seek the Warrior Within. Most importantly, we would like to acknowledge our class sponsor, Marta Avila Miranda. She has guided us through these past 4 years, lending us pieces of wisdom and inspiring us to pursue our goals in and outside of Pueblo. Her support and her hard work is highly appreciated among all of us.
Next, we will have Mr. Armendari speak.
Good evening. First of all, I would like to, at this point, recognize and acknowledge the top 25 students Would you please stand and be acknowledged? Those of you who received the golden tassel, please stand. Faculty, staff, guests, those are your top 25 scholars. A lot of dedication, a lot of hard work. Thank you. At this point, I would like to acknowledge our valedictorian who could not make it this evening. That is Mr. Christian Malena. And then so a big hand for Mr. Malena, who is not here this evening. And then my distinct privilege of introducing Miss Tricia Hindley, who will address.
Good evening. Family, friends, teachers, administrators, and special guests, thank you for being here tonight to celebrate the turning point for the graduating class of 2011. I am honored to stand here tonight and share a few words with you. I think we can all agree that becoming an adult is tough. It is a time of transition, and for many, the belief that everything is going to change and everything is going to be completely different. But that's not entirely the case. Our high school experiences were all different. Some people really liked high school, while some just simply hated it. Many will reminisce about the good times that high school has brought them for the rest of their lives, while some of us will never want to think about high school ever again. But many of us have a good mixture of both. Regardless, we all made it, and we all reached this turning point in our lives at the same time. Someone special told me that the habits you develop to overcome obstacles now are likely to be the same habits and methods you use to overcome obstacles later in life. What happened? Oh no! What's happening? Test, 1, 2. Can you guys hear me again? Okay. Let's get started. Now, for some of us, this may not be comforting information. Because many of us spend endless hours on the internet or watching reruns of Jersey Shore, we cram for finals when we really didn't have to, because we should have been consistently working the whole time. But tonight is your opportunity to learn from these mistakes. You might think you have 80 years to fix your bad habits, but why wait so long? We sometimes sell ourselves short, don't believe in ourselves, and think, I can never do that, or I'm not good enough. But the thing is, we are all capable of succeeding and accomplishing our goals if we have a positive attitude and know that we're worth it. So do what you love and love what you do. Be true to yourself and your beliefs, and always do your best, because what you plant now will harvest later. Like Joe Dirt once said, life's a garden. Dig it. Can you guys hear me? Yes? Okay. I'm sorry. And of course, we couldn't have made it this far without the support of those special people in our lives who stayed by our side, regardless of the circumstances. Think of those in your life who have been there for you. Class of 2011, a round of applause for the people who have made this day possible. And remember, tonight is a celebration of the work and dedication of each and every warrior, and also the opportunity to prepare for a bright future, one of your choosing. Yes, we've made it this far, but we have a ways to go, so keep on keeping on. Congratulations, class of 2011. Thank you.
Thank you, Tricia. She gave us some words of wisdom there. Earlier this morning, your students and I practiced something. Hopefully this will work out this evening, kind of in unison. At the count of 3, graduates, we're going to stand up. 1, 2, 3. Then I've asked the graduates to look over to the home side and thank you, parents, for all that you do. Then if you will turn over to the other side and thank them. Thank you. Okay, graduates, if you will sit down. As principal, I give you my heartfelt appreciation and thank you for entrusting your children to us for 4 years. Not long ago in September, I stood here. The grass wasn't as green as it is today. It was a September evening. Our varsity football team was playing Choya High School. Their quarterback goes to pass, and out of nowhere comes out Ruben Canastillo. And Ruben, would you stand up, please? Ruben, from the other end, took the ball, dodged people, hurdled over people, sprinted, and now holds the record for the longest return touchdown. Thank you, Ruben. The reason I say that is you're going to leave Pueblo High School, and many of you are going to do the same thing. You're going to have to take hold of those opportunities that come to you like Ruben did. You're going to have to run. You're going to have to dodge. You're going to have to fight for success. I'm asked many times, Mr. Armendariz, what is your vision for Pueblo High School? I say success before and after graduation. And I submit to you, we have 300 or more students here who have demonstrated success. A big hand to you. Thank you. I invited some people here, past warriors who have stories to tell. Some of you have had Miss Kawadi. Miss Kawadi is sitting somewhere back there. Miss Kawadi, are you there somewhere? She is not home grading papers, I can tell you that. She told me once as she was teaching Beowulf that every man, part of her story, has a story to tell. Every man and person. So I've invited some warriors from past whose stories resound and are important. You've already been introduced to Miss Grijalva, who's a member of the governing board. She has a great story to tell and she serves the community. I'm going to take a little break and get some water here. She's serving as member of the governing board, and that's her story. Her story is that of service. Down there in the audience there, he doesn't know that I'm going to call his name, Mr. Eduardo Nunez. Would you stand up, please? He didn't know that he was part of my speech. Before he was at VIP, he was an assistant principal. Some of you don't remember him. Some of you don't remember being suspended. Well, I shouldn't say that, but before that, he was a counselor. And before that, he was a student. Mr. Nunez has the distinction of having every yearbook for every year that Pueblo has been in existence. But his story is that every year that he's been a public servant, that he's been a teacher, he's helped one or more young person achieve their dream. That's his story. And I thank you, Mr. Nunez, for that legacy. My speech is not going to take long because you are the focal point. But I close with this. What story will you tell 1 year, 5 years, 20 years from now? You started this evening by doing a whole lap around the field, and I hope that you're not tired from that lap. You came to the beginning. For me, that's symbolic. You should always think of Pueblo High School. This is where you receive the foundation, those basic principles that are going to help you as you leave high school. My invitation to you, return often, tell your stories of success to the future generations. Good luck, and I'm honored for you to be my first graduating class as principal. Much success in your endeavors. Thank you. I would like to ask, as Mr. Contreras is fond of saying, I would like to bring up, when you go to Mr. Contreras' concerts, you have to be there because he brings up every musician. And today we're going to bring up the entire group by themselves, and they're going to sing a traditional melody in Spanish called Las Golondrinas. Generally, this song evokes a lot of sadness, a lot of tears. And of course, we have our featured students here who graduate. So for you, Las Golondrinas. Program that everyone is waiting for, the presentation of diplomas. This is the culminating event. This is what we've worked for so many years. Assisting me is Miss Grijalva. So we practiced this a lot before we got here, so Whenever you're ready.
Ibune Michelle Abeta.
Amparo Isabel Alonso.
Jennifer Acosta.
Jesus Anaya.
Elaine Acuna.
Katrina Michelle Anaya.
Fernando Aguilar.
Cosmo Anderson.
Esmeralda Aguilar.
Liana Andrade.
Eduardo Aguirre.
Matthew Ryan Andrade.
Arnaldo Alanis.
Ruben D. Araiza.
Alan Alcantar.
Linda Iris Arqueo Mata.
Richard Alegría.
Angel Ramón Arias.
Raymond Almader.
Felix Andrés Armenta.
Unuel Arrizón Coronado.
Judith Annabelle Beltran.
Joshua Arvizu.
Brian Bishop.
Maria Arvizu.
James Anthony Blue.
Rodolfo Aviles.
William Luis Bonias.
Sabrina Ashley Avitia.
Jasmine Brown.
Ruben Portillo Ballesteros.
Verónica Rosalín Burgos.
Jesús Rubén Bautista Barraza.
Crystal Burrell.
Jessica Araceli Barrientos.
Baltasar Caballero.
Vanessa Lisette Bedoy.
Carolina Cadena.
Angélica Beltrán.
Christopher James Caicedo.
Ulysses M. Camacho.
Lilia Alejandra Costello.
Jessica Patricia Camacho Clark.
Adriana Cristina Cedillo.
Alejandro Manuel Campoy.
Marisela Yvette Cedillo.
Denitza N. Campoy.
Anthony Chavez Jr.
Ruben Canastillo.
Ernesto Chavez.
Marco Alejandro Cardenas.
Maria Chavez.
Gerardo Alicio Carinon.
Shani Coca.
Elizabeth Felix Carrillo.
Ruth Colores.
Marcos Fernando Carrillo.
Jamie Cope.
Courtney Maria Casas.
Jose Coronel. Dulce Corte. Carlos de la Vara. Aaron Santiago Cortés. John Patrick de la Hante. Lisette Nicole Cota. Joshua Delgado. Pedro Pablo Cruz. Heidi Dominguez. Alejandro Ramón Cuellar. Karina Michelle Dominguez. Rubén Iván Cuevas. Ariel Cristal Duarte. Alejandra Curiel Molina. Sandra E. Duarte. Enrique Juan Daniel. Savannah M. Durazo. Vicente Javier Daniel. Lluvia Echanove. David Daniel Davenport. Griselda Elias.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to have the honor to read your names for the class of 2011. It has been an extremely difficult year for our community here, and you have persevered and made it. Lisbeth C. Enriquez.
Manuel Manny Flores.
Brianna Michelle Escalante.
Christopher Adrian Flowers.
Carlos Andrés Escalante.
Justin Thomas Wharton Ford.
Antonio Escobosa.
Israel Izzy Fragoso.
David Anthony Espinosa.
Chelsea Fraley Taylor.
Gabriel Estrella.
Christian Armando Gomez.
Francisco A. Federico.
Jose Gomez.
Irene Amelia Federico.
Cruz Garate.
Angel Fabian Felix.
Brienne Garcia.
Luis Carlos Flores.
Elsie Garcia.
Esteban Garcia.
Bianca Ariana Gonzalez.
Grisel Alejandra Garcia.
Enrique Nicolas Gonzalez.
Jessica Mariah Garcia.
Katrina Josephine Gonzalez.
Mariana Patricia Garcia.
Ramon Gilberto Gonzalez.
Rafael Jesus Garcia.
Stephanie Jocelyn Govea.
Yaritza Garcia.
Jocelyn Nicole Green.
Daniel Eduardo Gastelum.
Carlos Martin Grijalva.
Karina Guadalupe Herman.
Cruz M. Grijalva.
Ricardo Rahim Gil Ronquillo.
Gerardo Fuentes Guillen. And it is with great pride and honor that I announce my son, my little Pookie, Derek Ryan Gunnos!
Michael Hargreaves, Eliel Gabriel Islas, Cristian Adrian Aros, Francisca Eileen Islas, Gunnar Patrick Hensley, Francisco Sabas Lopez Jimenez, Yvette Lisette Heredia, Uriah William Jimenez, Estefana Hernandez, Leobardo Morales Husano, Carolina Barron Hernandez, Sofia Catherine Kelly, Juan Herrera, Andrew Cody King, Miguel Herrera, Crystal Lynn Klein, Trisha Heinley, Carlos Alberto Kovrig, Jesus Iniguez, Maria R. Laguna,
Ramses Leon.
Dakota Robert Love,
Joanna Larissa Leiva.
Ashley Brianna Lovata Vato,
Samantha Leivas.
Dianette Lopez Sota,
Lilian Licea.
Christian Lopez Rodriguez,
Cynthia Lona.
Laura Karina Lopez,
Ray Long.
Jorge D. Lopez,
Andres Lopez.
John Manuel Lopez,
Anthony Lopez.
Acel Lopez,
Audrey Luis Lopez.
Giselle R. Lopez,
Bianca Lopez.
Roberto Enriquez Lopez,
Cassandra Abigail Luna Guerra,
Jesus Ruiz Martinez,
Jairo Filiberto Macias,
Laura Martinez,
Christopher Scott Maddox Jr.,
Leonel Ernesto Martinez,
Vivian Maldonado,
Leilani Metzler Martinez,
Jose Angel Manje,
Mark Anthony Martinez.
Bianca Mariah Martinez.
Mylene Martinez.
Carolina Martinez.
Yaritza Martinez Cano.
Clarissa Renee Martinez.
Lisbeth Medina Murrieta. Noah Medina. Graciela Mejia. Janet Graciela Mejia.
Josefina Guadalupe Mejia Ragosa.
Cheyenne Evangelina Moreno.
Emmanuel Mendez.
Nicholas Moreno.
Elijah Elias Moranza.
Gabriela Brianna Munoz.
Arlene Miranda.
Perla Guadalupe Navarro.
Anais Montejano.
Jesus Navarro.
Richard Montijo.
Enrica Nesbet.
Tony Montijo.
Marcus Nesbet.
Renee Nicole Montoyo.
Carmen Nevares Rosas.
Robert Ellis Moore.
Devante Romel Newsom.
Isabel Morales Bonilla.
Erica Nieblas.
Jasmine Nogales.
Brian Michael Ortega.
Guadalupe Alejandra Nunez.
Isaac Ortega.
Jennifer Ochoa.
Reina Elizabeth Padilla Guzman.
Josue Olivares.
Ruben Parra.
Javier Brown Olmedo.
Marco Antonio Bastana.
Jesus Andres Opineda.
Olivia Sandrea Payne.
Rhiannon Renee Olvera.
Donovan Marquise Peralta.
Andres Lames Orozco.
Giovanna Gabriela Peralta.
Anthony Dwight Orozco.
Lizette Peralta.
Rosa Orozco.
Brandon Perez.
Alice Baroni.
Carlos Ramirez.
Denise Pesquera.
Krista Danielle Ramirez.
Ana Sofia Pino.
Maria del Rosario Ramirez.
Carla Marlise Plasencio.
Miguel Michael Ramirez.
Daniela Yvette Polo.
Samuel Ramirez.
Stephanie Tejada.
Brian Raper.
Crystal Lizette Quintero.
Alfonso Concepcion Reyes.
Marisa Monique Rada.
Richard Richards.
Grisel Raggio.
Gabby Rios. Javier Rios.
Jesús Ríos.
Patricia Rojo.
Alberto Ríos Carpio.
Raúl Gavino Romero.
Nicole Danielle Rivera.
Paulina Roque.
Yarlene Nayeli Robles.
Yasmín Rosales.
Eritzel Robles Velarde.
Luis Alberto Rosas Sandoval.
Analisa Monique Rodríguez.
Renson Reese.
Brianna Nicole Rodríguez.
Christian Jesus Sainz.
Mateo Santiago Rodríguez.
Lucas A. Salas.
Rogelio Joan Rodríguez.
Ramón Antonio Salcedo González.
Vanessa Rodríguez.
Steven Nicolás Salcido.
Okay, Analisa Sanchez.
Samuel Siqueiros.
Paloma Sanchez.
Cassandra Juliet Soto.
Martín Sandoval.
Carlos Alberto Spurgeon.
Sarah Sereno.
Damian Suárez.
Cecilia Serrano.
Francisco Terán.
María Serrano.
Ángela Torres.
Alfred Cerventi.
Joseph Alexander Torres.
Melissa Taylor Shaw.
Gambina Tovar Fimbres.
Silvia Shosi.
Daniel Trejo.
Iris Sigala.
Joseph Edward Trujillo Sánchez.
Before I call my roll, I would like to congratulate my son, Angel Arias. I'm very proud of you, babe. Okay, Damian Urias.
Christian Lionel Vasquez.
Gabriela Valdez.
Roque Alberto Vasquez.
Juan Valencia.
Jessica Vasquez Aro.
Alina Valencia.
Cristina Verdugo.
Cristian Valenzuela.
Yaritza Villa.
Eduardo Valenzuela.
Marcela Warrior.
Lisette Yaritza Valenzuela.
Jean Edward Washington.
Carlos Valle.
Leslie Danitza Yanez.
Aviana Marie Vallejo.
Jesus Gabriela Yepis.
Daiva Varela Hernández.
Aiden Michael Young.
Eduardo José Islas.
Jesus José Pacheco Cañez.
Esteban Nicolás Islava.
José Ernesto Mada.
Héctor Manuel Zambrano.
Estefanía Juanita Herrera.
Tabitha Dominique Daniel.
Jesús Alejandro Sedano.
Michael Anthony Cruz.
Gabriel Eduardo Gastelum.
Roberto Ayón.
Andrés Nicolás López.
Andrew Pacheco.
Ramón Alberto Duarte.
Ashley Salomón.
Patricia Chafino.
René Alonso López.
Dominic Christopher Acuña.
Daniela Macasani. Victoria Real García. Last but not least, Jonathan Ríos Caballero.
This has been a grand event. I'm so proud of you. Now I have to present you to our governing board member, Adelita Grijalva. This is why it's important for everyone to complete credits and to achieve all of the aims, information, and certification. So I read this statement as part of my job. Ms. Grijalva, to the families of students and other members of the audience, the students receiving diplomas tonight have met all of the graduation requirements set by the state of Arizona and Tucson Unified School District. By the power vested in me, I present you the Pueblo Magnet High School class of 2011. Wait up, hold up. Now I'm going to ask Sara and Alina, who are going to do the tassel ceremony, and then after they do that, we will conclude this ceremony.
Graduates, please stand. I would now like you to grab your tassel, and on the count of 3, move it from right to left. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, class of 2011!
Thank you, graduates. That concludes our ceremony. Class of 2011, congratulations.
Congratulations, class of 2011! We did it!